Hello families. Hi my sweet littles. How are you doing today? I'm glad that you are doing well. I'm doing well too. Today Joshua and I went for a bike ride to Glass Beach and we had a great time, and while we were there we sat on one of the logs and we just listened to the water, and there were 2 Canadian geese honking and 2 blackbirds jumping and flying around, and I think there were some ducks that we saw also. What are some of the things that you saw when you were on your nature walk? This morning when I was by myself, I found a ladybird or a ladybug on a plant, and I posted it on our site. So ask your mom and dad if you want to see it. You can go ahead and check that picture out. And I also saw a bee, and I'm going to be posting the bee picture very soon. He was on a beautiful iris and he was trying to get some of the nectar. He was excited. He was getting a lot of yummy food that he could store up in his body so that he can do lots of hard work for his hive. Well, today we have a great book that I love reading, and it's one of Joshua's favorites, or at least it was when he was your age. This one's called Koala Lou, and this is by Mem Fox, and I love how Mem Fox wrote this book. But look at the beautiful pictures by Pamela Lofts. Oh my goodness, the illustrations are just beautiful. And this story takes place in Australia, and Australia is where koalas live. But before I share this book, I'll go ahead and share something of mine that I absolutely love. Now, this isn't something that I've had for a long time. I just purchased it because you know how much I love to have beautiful scents in the house, like lavender. I found this candle and it has lavender in it. And I know you can't smell it, but it's making me happy. And so just smelling the candle without it being lit is a wonderful thing. But I am gonna light it while we're here together so that we can see what it looks like when it's lit. Isn't that lovely? Now, today for me is a very warm day. So I have my fan on and all the windows open. So you'll see how the wind is flickering the wick of the candle. The air is rushing over the wick and it might blow out. It's looking like it might blow out. Let's go ahead. Smell it, and we'll put it right here for now and see if it stays lit. I don't know if you can see that while we're doing this. Excuse me. Thank you for excusing me while I was coughing. I apologize. So one of the other things that I would love to share with you right now is a plant that I got from a neighbor. Now, my neighbor has been growing plants from seed. And so he then posted an article about how he has free little plants that he's willing to give to his neighbors so that everyone can have beautiful flowers in their garden. And this one happens to be bee balm. And this plant will like nice moist soil and full sunlight. And it should come back every year once it's planted. And it will give off, I can't remember the color of the flower actually, I have to look that up and then I'll let you guys know. But I'm excited, I've never grown bee balm before, and so this is a new plant for me, and I'll be planting it in the garden very soon. Okay, let's put on some lavender. And I have my candle right over here. Let's see. I'm gonna blow it out for now. One already went out. And let's light our candle. Light a candle for peace. Light a candle for love. Light a candle that shines all the way around. so it's still a little tickly from me coughing. So thank you for being patient with me. Can you see the candle if I put it right? Oh, right there. That's a good spot. Okay. Koala Lou by Mem Fox. There was once a baby koala, so soft and round that all who saw her loved her. Her name was Koala Lou. She's very cute. She has cute little round cheeks. The emu loved her, the platypus loved her, and even tough little koala claws next door loved her. But it was her mother who loved her most of all. 100 times a day she would laugh and shake her head and say, Koala Lou, I do love you. There she is, holding her baby, saying, Koala Lou, I do love you. Whenever she stretched in the early morning sun, or climbed a gum tree, or bravely went down the path all by herself, her mother would smile and say, Koala Lou, I do love you. Aw, look at, she's stretching. And here is her going down a path all by herself. Have you tried going down a path all by yourself? I bet you have. The years passed and other koalas were born, brothers and sisters for Koala Lou. Soon her mother was so busy she didn't have time to tell Koala Lou that she loved her, although of course she did. So here's the mama, and now she has many koala babies, and she looks a little frazzled. She's trying to keep them all safe. Looks like this one is eating some eucalyptus, and this one is being a little feisty and trying to attack the other one, and this one is hanging. Yep. And then here is poor Koala Lou, all sad because she doesn't feel like her mommy's paying attention to her. Every night as she curled up under the stars, Koala Lou thought about the times when her mother had looked at her and said, Koala Lou, I do love you. And she longed for her to say it again. One night, Koala Lou had a splendid idea. Preparations had begun for the Bush Olympics. She would enter the Olympics. She would compete in the gum tree climbing event, and she would win. And her mother would fling her arms around her neck and say again, Koala Lou, I do love you. There she is dreaming about how she's going to enter the Bush Olympics. Aren't the pictures beautiful? Koala Lou began her training right away. She jogged and puffed and lifted weights and panted. She hung from a branch with one claw at a time until she ached. She did push-ups till her stomach hurt, and last of all, she climbed the tallest tree that she could find over and over and over again. Here she is, doing all of her exercises. Oh, she looks like she's doing a lot of hard work, and there is where the opening banner, it says Bush Olympics, and people are starting to attend. Or not people, animals. Sometimes her mother would watch her and ask, how are you going, Blossom? Fine, just fine, Koala Lou would reply. Here's Mama trying to take care of other little babies. And look at this one trying to hold on to this little creature. And then here's Koala Lou at the top of the gum tree. She's very excited. At last, the day of the Bush Olympics arrived. And here is one of the animals bringing a torch to signal the opening of the Olympics. And look at all of those lovely animals wearing hats. Do animals wear hats? No. But this is the beautiful imagination of the artist and of the author. So I would encourage you to use your imagination as well. Koala Claus had also entered the gum tree climbing event, and everyone knew how fast she was, but Koala Lou wasn't scared. She saw her mother in the crowd and imagined her saying again, "Koala Lou, I do love you," her heart filled with hope. Here's Koala Lou saying, "I've got this, okay?" And here's Koala Claus. And here is her mama in the stands with all the babies. What are those babies doing? What are they doing? Looks like one's pulling another one's ear. It was Koala Claus who went first. Her climb was a record-breaking 22 meters in 70 seconds flat. The spectators whistled and cheered and wildly waved their party hats. Look at them. They're timing it, and then they're reading the distance with measuring tape. And there she is, reaching the top very fast. Can I do better than that? Wondered Koala Lou. I must. As she stepped towards the tree, a hush fell over the crowd. On your mark, said the kookaburra. Get set, go! And there's the kookaburra. And here's Koala Lou thinking, can I do it better? We'll see. Koala Lou leaped onto the tree. Up and up and up she climbed, higher and higher and higher, faster and faster and faster, until there she was, right on the very top. The spectators roared and clapped and stamped their feet. But she wasn't fast enough. In spite of all her training and all her hoping, it was Koala Claus who won the gum tree climbing. Koala Lou came second. Koala Lou went off and hid. She heard the shouts of the Bush Olympics and cried her heart out. Here's all the hats people were throwing in excitement for the day. And there's poor little Koala Lou with her second place medal that she did not want. She wanted a first place one. She's very sad and she's going off into the trees. What kind of tree do you think that is? Do you recognize the type of flower that's on here? You can see them if you go down to the state park and along the waterfront sometimes. It's what the koalas eat every day. Eucalyptus tree. Eucalyptus trees are not native to California. They actually brought them from Australia to California. So the eucalyptus tree is very special to Australia. When the first stars of evening appeared in the sky, Koala Lou crept home through the dark and up into the gum tree. Her mother was waiting for her. Before she could say a word, her mother had flung her arms around her neck and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you. I always have, and I always will." Oh, here she is, sad. But then, look what her mama was hugging her. Oh, and there's her shoes. And there's the kookaburra showing his excitement. Bum, bum. Do you have brothers or sisters? Some of you might. Does it ever feel like your mom or your dad are just paying attention to them and not you? It might feel that way sometimes, but just know, just like Koala Lou's mommy, your mommy and daddy, even if they're busy working at home or helping one of your brothers or sisters, they absolutely love you so very much. And sometimes it's okay to go and ask, "May I have a hug?" Or, "Mommy, can you play with me? It's okay to ask. Sometimes they may say, right now I have to work. And that's okay too. But then you can ask them and say, okay, but can we play later? And then your mommy or your daddy will definitely make time for you. They will, because they love you very much and they want you to grow and to be happy all the time. They do. Wow, I loved reading this book to you. Please send me your pictures and your videos and all of the things that you're doing during the day. I love seeing you cook. I love seeing you work on new projects. And I love seeing what your parents are creating for you to help you learn. So with that, I'll say I love you and goodbye. Mwah.